to Every Point Sports Podcast featuring Greg and Jack starts right now.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sunday. And because it's Sunday, I am Jack Stache. We've got Greg, the old gamer GK Entertainment, talking picks, taking all of the money, and we are getting you ahead of the lines. How are we feeling, Greg?
Oh, we're feeling great. We are feeling great. We got Christmas in a few days. 3 days away, guys? So, for all you guys out there that celebrate Christmas, exciting time. You guys out there, Hanukkah, that's already started, I believe, right?
Yeah. And
Kwanzaa, all that good stuff. So whatever religion you are, happy holidays, guys. But with that aside, we're here to make some money, guys. We're to make some cash, help line your pockets a little bit after these trying holiday costs out there. So for everybody that is putting up with everybody out there in the stores, God bless you.
for the last minute shopper, let's gamble to make that money. Let's roll the dice, make a couple extra dollars.
Yeah, you got $100. You're gonna buy your girlfriend like a nice necklace or something. Let's put that $100 and try to double, triple that. Get her a nice little diamond necklace, huh?
Yeah, get her something nice, you bums.
That's right. That's right.
I got $100 and I saved my nickels and pennies. You know what I did? I sat, watched football, and took all of the money.
That's right. Hey, yesterday was a good day. Good day for favorites. Hit on all three college games. Jack did also. Jack had what did you? Something happened yesterday. What happened?
Well, first of all, I lived after last week. I did bet ping pong, and then after I hit on my listen, guys, I want to tell you something. It can be done, right? You can lose a bet big, and then you can crawl your way out of the basement, make it to the front door, and start screaming and beating on your chest, which is what I did last week, right? I bet on Army was losing. Then I switched to Navy because I don't have any allegiance. I'm degenerate, right? So then I switched to Navy. Then I took Mississippi State over McNeese State. Then I took a Division II game, which put me at $40 for the day. And I wanted all my money back, or 98% of it. So I took a ping pong player at 2:00 in the morning, hit that one, woke up the next day. I was very careful because I knew that ping pong player was a gift. So I didn't play many things, but what I did do was I took Buffalo because I thought they had the best player in the field. And then I spiked Green Bay late. I went from 16-27 all the way to 103-35. So I don't want to hear anything about, I guess I lost. Don't him and haw. Take the money back. You can do it. Believe in yourself. That's how we do it.
That's right. I was down after the Niners game on that Thursday. Came back, was up a little bit after Saturday, not much. And then Sunday day was good for us. You guys that watched us, Sunday day was good. Sunday evening, not so much, guys. We lost a little bit there, but we bounced back on Monday night with that double game that we talked about. Bounced back big time on that game to be up. So yesterday was a nice day. All favorites hit. I won on all them. The only bet I did lose yesterday, I took overs in all games. I was getting a bonus profit bet on that one, which boosted it up. I forget to what, but it was nice. And the only one I didn't hit was the Penn State one. So that hurt me a little bit. It was only a $5 bet that would have won me 45. So I mean, that would have been nice. That would have been so nice to hit on that. Those bonus profit bets are great, guys. Make sure you look at them. Just don't place your bet. Look up top. Look at those blocks. See what they're offering you.
By the way, guys, it's very important to be careful. Okay, I know I sound reckless, but I do know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing because I've always paid attention to how I'm hitting and how I'm losing. Right? This is real money. You worked hard for it. Don't be stupid. Don't gamble. Right? So like for instance, last week I sat there and I knew the games that me and Greg talked about. I was very careful and I was waiting for, my bet to come through, and it was I didn't bet anything on the early games. I didn't like them. I liked all
Mhm.
my late games. So the one game I was going to take, and I sat there and hemmed and hawed. I was going to take the Chargers over the Bucks. We talked about it.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, I said, "Well, who's the better quarterback?" Well, it's Baker Mayfield. I mean, it's not close, actually. Justin Herbert's a nice kid. He's got probably one of the top 3 arms in the league. Top 3 arms doesn't win you football games. I'm sorry. Everybody thinks it does. Not true. And I just kinda sat there and I was like, "Well, if this gets into one of those shootouts, I'm gonna take the kid from Oklahoma." Look what happened. And by the way, everybody goes, "Well, they're on the road." Yeah, right where he likes to be. An underdog, undervalued. Everybody's on sports radio, which he listens to, going, "Oh, well, the Bucks, I don't think they're gonna come into," and he's like, "Yeah, check, 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 smash." So I just couldn't bet against them because I just know him. Not personally, I just know that when you're saying nice things about him and patting him on the back, he's good. He's good. Oh, maybe he underperforms a little bit. You start chirping and barking, he'll kill you.
All right.
That's
Well,
just the
I
way
was
he is.
I was on the Chargers all day. What's going on, Brock? There we go. What's going on, Brock? Thanks for showing up. We greatly appreciate it. No, I was on the Chargers last week. We all know how I like Harbaugh. Yeah, that was a game that let me down. Like I said, the 1 o'clock games I did great on. 4 o'clock games and on, I didn't do so hot. But like I said, we cleaned up on Sunday night and the 2 Monday night games. So we
I
bounced
knew you were
back
taking the
very
Packers.
good. What's that?
I knew you were taking the Packers.
Yeah.
That was our no sweat
Oh
bet,
yeah.
right?
Yep. Absolutely. Yep. Uh-huh. And
Brock, how we feeling, man?
like I said, I felt like Monday night was pretty easy with those 2 bets. Just taking the 2 favorites. Don't get cutesy with it.
Yeah, I liked Atlanta, but
You know.
I didn't. I still, I'm just not a Darnold believer. I just, I know they're
I
doing.
listen. I am a Vikings believer, and
Yeah,
that team is playing. That team is playing. Listen, you might not have any faith in Darnold, and that's fine. But as far as a team, that team is clicking.
yeah.
Darnold's just a piece, and he is a piece that he doesn't need to overextend himself. He doesn't need to do he doesn't need to step outside his box. You know what I mean? He could just sit there inside his pocket, deliver the ball to 3 very good receivers, 1 great wide receiver, and Addison, a very good up and coming wide receiver.
You know what I think he is
Oh, and I'm sorry, and I can't forget about Hawkinson, one of the best tight ends in the league.
he's a B student who has gotten a very good SAT score, and he's gotten into a good school, and he's got a lot of tools around him at that school that he utilizes well.
Mhm.
There's not listen, I'm not telling you to go, don't aim to be a B student, ladies and gentlemen. But if you're trying your best, which I think he is, if
Mhm.
you're trying your very hardest, you're going to catch some breaks in life. You will. Not all of
Mhm.
them, but you'll catch a lot of them. Obviously you're gonna get knocked down, you gotta get back up, all that other good stuff, but if you're going to catch some breaks if you're working your hardest. And that SAT score on your best day was your break.
Mhm.
Getting
Now
into the school was just what they were gonna give you after you got that score. Everything else is you. And
Mhm.
Darnold is now into Yale, which is Minnesota Vikings.
And let's face it, the last 2 years, last year and this year, I think, was a dramatic growth for him just with the 2 coaches he's had. Shanahan, he kinda learned a little bit of the nuances of the game that he didn't know before. Now with the Vikings coach that he has, he's the same way. He's learning more, I think, more of the game, more of the nuances, more of, how to, manipulate the defense a little bit. Um, a little bit more on, all right, if this read isn't here, this read will be there type deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, let's see, Brock here. Brock, let's go, Michael Penix. The tank is real. Dude, listen, I like Penix. I think he's going to come in. I think the first game he's going to light it up. I think actually we're going to see finally see Pitts have a really great game.
Maybe they look like long lost brothers.
They do, don't they?
A little bit. A little bit. They do. A little bit. They do.
Or
Let's get
Sammy
some
D.
games. Huh? Some games.
Some games. All right, let's get us up here. Share screen. Let's get odds. Here we go.
Oh, by the way, before we get to some games, Mike Tomlin, shame on you. You lost by 17 to a division rival. Shame on you. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, we got this. We got.
That's all I'm gonna say. You don't lose. You lose by 17 to a division rival. I mean, these are some of the reasons why. Like, I know Tomlin's great and he does a great coaching job and great. But we got to knock you off the pedestal when you lose like this.
Oh no! Listen, well, we praise him when he is the underdog and he wins. So we have to call him out when he loses. And like you said, he lost big to a division rival. This is a game that you can't lose by 17 and still be taken serious as a Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, not at all. Nope. Shame on you. Pittsburgh Steelers. Crickets.
Yep. All right, guys. Our first game on the docket. We got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Washington Commanders. Eagles are giving 4 points. Over under is 47. Money line negative 205 for Philly, plus 170 for the Commanders.
I
It's
think
kind
this
of
is
low, isn't it?
I think this is your shot. I really do. I had this game lined up 4 weeks ago. I said when, the Commanders played Philly pretty tough, by the way. And then Philly beat them in the second half. Remember that game? Thursday night?
Right. 1 second here. Let's answer Tim Reynolds' fantasy football question in case he needs to get his lineup in before he needs to go. Who would you start, Drake London or Adam Thielen? I just said that with Penix starting, I like Atlanta's offense today. I think they're going to put up some points. I would start London.
The thing, I think the Panthers when the Panthers lost, and it doesn't show great mettle for them, but when they lost to Tampa in that overtime match, they never came back. Mm-hmm. They're still whatever week 13 or whatever, they're stuck in that week because they really thought that they were going to get back at and take down Baker Mayfield and the Bucs and knock them out of the playoffs. And sorry, never happened. And Carolina really never recovered. Now you have an Arizona team coming in and they have something to play for. I can't bet on anyone in Carolina. I think Bryce Young is going to start looking like himself again. And, I like Adam Thielen. I don't love Adam Thielen. Drake London has better opportunity. And what Michael Penix is going to want to do is he's going to want to endear himself to his the wide receivers that are around his age. I don't know if Mooney gets as much love as Cousins was giving him, but I do think London gets involved early. We all get pats in the back, smiles, and then we can move on from the Kirk Cousins era. Drake London, start him.
Yeah, I like I said before, I like their offense this week. I think Penix is going to push the ball downfield. I just said if you have Pitts, I think he's going to have a monster game. And I believe the same thing with Drake London. I think you're going to finally see why they drafted him in the first round because we've all been scratching our head lately.
He's got big hands.
I get it. You know what you do with those big hands?
Put on big gloves.
That's right.
So let's get to this Philly Washington game.
Okay, Philly Washington game. What do we like here?
I've had this circled. I have because it was Philly coming off the bye. Then they get the Thursday night game against Washington many moons ago, right? Mm-hmm. And I had this lined up. Right, Philly's going to win this one. Then I also had because there was a Philly, a Pittsburgh, and a Washington and Baltimore thing going on. This is how this all worked, right? And the schedule, if you look the way it lined up, they each got each other again 3 weeks later after Pittsburgh matchups, all that other stuff. Mm-hmm. And in this case, Washington gets the little bit of help, right? Because Philly just got done taking on the Steelers. Washington sat home. Washington gets Philly off of their bye at home. It's a complete and total role reversal. And I think, and Washington, by the way, is fighting for the playoffs. I think they're good enough to get in. I like Washington to win this game.
Oh, okay.
I think Philly stumbles. They're due to have a bad one or a bummer or whatever, and then a reboot. 12-2, they're a great football team. Some would say the best in the NFC. It's fine. But I really think that Washington gets this one at home, and you're like, oh, 10-5. All right.
Okay. I get it. I just don't think the Eagles are going to falter
It's
on this
one
one.
dog I think you can get on
I
today.
the only reason why is because Philly knows they need to win out. To get that number 1 seed, which they want, they're going to have to win out. They got the Vikings right there, which I believe if both team wins out, I think if everything works out, the Vikings still have the tiebreaker over them. So the Vikings would be the number 1 seed, I believe. I'd have to really look more into that. But I think for that fact alone, the Eagles are going to come out. And plus, we all know how Washington's defense is. Even with the addition of Lattimore, which we haven't seen too much.
We'll see it today.
I guess. And who's he going to guard? Is he going to Devontae Smith? Is he going to AJ Brown?
Well, you want to know how I would do it?
Pick your poison.
Here's how I do it. I put him on AJ Brown early. Frustrate AJ Brown. By the way, Lattimore does really well against tall wide receivers. Real well. Real awesome. Physical. Doesn't shut him down, but does well against Mike Evans.
Mm-hmm.
He also does well against the once upon a time Julio Jones. Like Marshawn Lattimore gets in your face. And if you can frustrate AJ Brown early, then what Philly tends to do is they shift over to Devonta Smith. That's cool. That's where I'm moving Lattimore over to Devonta Smith. And, you know, the barking begins. The arguments begin. It's chirping in the Eagles, you know, in their huddles. And so I'm telling you, I'd move Lattimore. I'd start him around, frustrate him, and then move on.
With in last year's Eagles, I would totally agree with you. But this year they have a lot more weapons than just those two. I mean, you have Barkley to fall back on. Gilbert's healthy. He's doing very, very well. And so I think with even if you take one out of the 4 away, there's still 3 there. I just think there's too much to go against that Washington defense. I like the Eagles here. I mean, I'm guessing. I think even with the 4 points, but to be safe, I mean, 205 with the money line. That's what I'm going to take. I'm going to take the Eagles with the money line.
All right. I think you got to take shots today.
That's fine. Listen, if you want to take shots, that's fine. I just don't.
That's the only shot. That's the only. Washington is a live dog here. Like they really. Washington is a really. And again, Washington went toe to toe with them for a half. And that was when Philly was coming off a bye. Philly looked much better in the second half. They pulled away a couple Saquon runs. Fantastic. Let's see what we can do if we can shut down A.J. Brown and stop the run. Because I think you could do both things. And if you can stop the run and shut down A.J. Brown, put him on Lattimore's island, now what do we have?
Yeah, Washington hasn't been able to stop the run all year, so I find it hard to believe they'd be able to do that against one of the best offensive lines and one of the best running backs in the league. And like I said, the Eagles need to keep pace with the Vikings.
All you have to do is get Jalen Hurts guessing. If you get him guessing, I don't think he's a great chess player. I really don't.
No, listen, I agree with that 100%. You take away his first read, he's very questionable.
Yeah. That's what I think.
You know, but I like I said, I think they have enough on offense this year where they're able to overcome some adversity, as opposed to last year. I don't think they were built like that, and the record showed it. So you like Washington, I like the Eagles. I don't mind the 4 points, but ultimately, I think I'm pretty much going to take this money line.
Okay, all right.
Which it was at 205, it jumped up to 218.
Yeah.
Okay, next. We got the Detroit Lions against the Chicago Bears. Lions are giving 7. Over under is 47.5. Lions are at -340 money line. Bears are at plus 270 money line.
I just have never seen Chicago look like they can really beat anybody.
I know. I don't
Like,
either.
every time we sit there and we're like, this is gonna be their it's not gonna be their week. It's
Mhm.
not. And, everybody's like, "Well, Detroit coming off a loss, they're gonna" I don't know, but I don't really love this game. That's first and foremost, I don't love this game, right? Because I think that Detroit's gotta be very careful because they only have 1 running back. They've always had the luxury of having 2, right? You
Mhm.
bring the one in, move the other in. I don't think you wanna run the wheels off Gibbs first
Yep.
and foremost, right? So you're gonna have to be very careful. I think bubble screens to Amon-Ra could be more of a factor. I think if you're gonna go downfield, it's gotta be Jameson Williams because he thinks he's good, but he thinks he's so good, right? And
So fast. He's so
I
fast.
he is. And then, Chicago's looked fine at times, but ultimately, I just think what the Bears remind me of? I'm just gonna
What's
say it. The Bears have done to Caleb Williams what Aaron Rodgers has done to himself for the Jets. The Bears now have no coach instead of having a bad coach.
Mhm.
And the Jets was a little bit different, but they have a no coach now. Like Saleh was a good coach that Rodgers didn't like. Caleb Williams now has no coach instead of a bad coach. Am I right?
No, you're right. Absolutely.
Because
Absolutely.
it's all like even the Detroit Dan Campbell's like, I want to go for it all the time. That's how he is.
Mhm.
And Ben Johnson's like the adult in the room going, hey, maybe not this time. It's 4th and 17. And there's a checks and balances thing there. The Bears coach, he's a coordinator who shouldn't have any extra responsibilities besides coordinating. That's it.
Mhm.
That's the end of the story. And, you got rid of the offensive coordinator. I mean, Chicago is a mess. And this 6 and a and by the way, Chicago keeps getting 6.5 when you think they're going to win the game. Have you noticed
Mhm.
the trend? Every time people are barking and barking and barking about Chicago, Chicago's getting 6.5. What happens every time they get 6.5? Smashed. Every time, right?
Mhm.
Every time. Vikings smashed every time. And it's because Chicago doesn't have a real coach. Do they have real talent? Some.
They do. They do, especially on offense. They got some dogs over there. But you can have dogs, but you have nobody to coach them. You have nobody to get them to plays. You have nobody to run the practices.
It's so bad. I there's no way. I understand the divisions and the get back games and they played them tough the first time. Remember
Mhm.
who Chicago's coach was the first time?
Yeah. An actual coach.
I think Eberflus is an actual coach. I just think that he made silly mistakes and the cards started falling in on him.
I agree. I agree.
Okay.
Yep.
This dude doesn't whoever this guy is, I won't even say his name. I don't need to. He won't be there next year. Terribly coached. You put over there and they could win North. KOC.
I don't know who KOC is.
I don't know who KOC is either, but it is terrible. But anyway, Chief Nick, right? It's or Chef Nick. It is. They are terribly coached. It's not even close. It's
Mhm.
every mistake that you can win during a game, you win the mistakes. And
Oh,
at the end
Kevin
of the
O'Connor.
Kevin,
Kevin
right?
O'Connor.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Absolutely.
you flipped coaches. Yeah, I agree with that. And
Yes.
is Caleb Williams a better talent than Sam Darnold? Maybe. We still have to remember that Sam Darnold was a second pick.
Yes. And again, you've got coaches that try to put a square peg into a round hole. You got Kevin O'Connor who finally sees Darnold as a square peg and says, "Oh, you know what? Let's develop an offense that is tends to a square peg."
Well, I do believe that just like Caleb Williams, this is why it's a pretty good comparison. I do think that their personalities are unique. Sam Darnold's a surfer kid from Southern California. That's a fact. That's just
Mhm.
it. Right. And Caleb Williams, also USC, right? Southern California. He's a bit of an enigma, right? He's a different guy. I've not met him, but he thinks of things differently. He kind of marches to the beat of his own drum. You know, he's not a guy's guy, but he's, you know, he kind of fits in with the guy. He's a different fellow.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's a great comparison. I think if O'Connell was over there, yeah, he could wrangle the situation a little bit better.
Yeah, because I mean, they have players. We talked about this when we were going over every team during the preseason. You and I did. We
Yeah.
thought the Bears was one of the better put together teams for a rookie quarterback to come in and have a great year. They
The front
had
office
pieces
did a
all
great job.
around. You know,
Yeah, I mean, Keenan Allen, you drafted Romaduze, you had DJ
Yeah.
Moore, you brought in DeAndre Swift. I mean, and then
Yeah.
you know they wanted the storyline. Here's part of Eberflus's problem, and maybe this came from upstairs. They wanted the storyline so badly to be Caleb Williams and Rookie of the Year and all this other that they didn't teach him what the position required at the professional level.
Mhm.
Right? You know, Trevor Lawrence, another problem. You know, I tell this story all the time, but it's a great story. He was having real difficulties in his rookie season, and he just got to a point where he couldn't understand. He's like, I don't understand this. I throw that pass in college, and there, but here everybody's there. And he called up his buddy Joe Burrow. Remember this story?
Mhm.
He called up Joe Burrow and he said, Joe, what's the deal here? I can't get anybody open. I my arm strength's good. Coach is saying I'm doing a great job. I can't get anything I want. And Joe said, if you do not run the ball in the NFL, you will get killed.
Mhm.
You need to run the ball or find a way to establish defenders moving left to right to get certain windows to open for you. That's the only way it works here. And he thanked him very much, and Trevor Lawrence played a little bit better. Obviously, we know what it is. If you do not get some windows, you will get no windows. It's that simple. It's that simple. You know, I'll take Detroit here because, you know, Chicago's still lost. You know, I think that Jared Goff will start the game 10 for 10. I mean, and you know what? And here's his comp, by the way. Here's Jared Goff's comp. I know nobody likes this old guy, but he would get lit up the same way if he decided to leave the pocket. Jared Goff's comp is Drew Bledsoe. It is. It's Drew Bledsoe.
There's
Drew
nothing wrong with
Bledsoe.
that.
There's not. But people kill me for that comp. He's a statue. He can't really move. He knows he can't move. And he could sling it when he's in there. Throws a good ball. But the offense has to be working. The machine has to be working perfectly.
No, Jared Goff is a very, very accurate quarterback. Very accurate quarterback.
And it will be working perfectly today.
Yeah, I agree with Jack 100%. I like the Lions here, even with their banged up secondary, which they lost 2 more people last week. I still like them over the Bears. Guys, just to give you a little perspective here, favorites this year have won 71% of the time. That is the best since 2001. So you know, I'm gonna keep with the trends. I like the 7 points here. I'll take that 7 points. I think they're dramatically better than the Bears. Not talent wise, but coaching wise.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
which is huge. Which is
Yeah,
huge.
perfect way to put it. Perfect.
Yeah. Okay, so we both like the Lions here. We both agreed. Wow, first one we agreed with. All right. Next we got Browns and Bengals. Browns are getting 10 points. Over under is 46.5. Browns are at plus 425 money line. Cincy's at negative 575 money line. With that 575 money line, that shows me that wise guys like it a lot more than 10 points.
Yeah. Do you know why they like it a lot more? No Jameis Winston.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, he's not playing today. They
okay.
moved him.
Okay.
They moved him to second string because they want to see what they have in Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Are you serious?
Oh,
they know what they had from him last year.
The same thing is going on in Tennessee. It's you're playing for a number 1 or a number 2 or a nice position where you can move up in the draft to take a wide receiver. Like this isn't hard to figure out, guys. I only wish you cared about your football team more, Cleveland. You know, it's Pittsburgh Pirates right there. There's baseball for you, right? R.I.P. Ricky Henderson, by the way. Very sorry
Yeah,
the
I know.
Henderson
Yeah,
escaped.
sad, huh?
That was sad. Just a week before Christmas that Ricky Henderson passed away. But the Pittsburgh Pirates every year, here's what they do. And I hope they start changing their ways because I like Pirates fans. I hate the Pirates
Mhm.
franchise. Every year they get really, really good or close to good, or all these farm guys that they raised to be pros have gotten good. And then near the trade deadline, that's what they do. They trade them for compensation and money so that the owners can get rich and the fans paid to watch nothing the rest of the year.
Yeah,
That's
unfortunately.
that's just a fact. I love you, Pittsburgh Pirates fans. Owners, come see me. We'll have a conversation. Okay.
They've done that. They've done that since we were kids. They did that all the way going back to Barry Bonds, the Bonilla days, all them.
100
All them guys, they were homegrown talents.
100%. Yeah.
And you guys and they shipped them off like they were secondary scrubs. Hall of Famers.
You guys might not like the way Barry Bonds treated the media and talked about the Pittsburgh Pirates, but he does have an axe to grind there.
Oh, absolutely.
And Barry does not let those things go.
No.
So
he wanted to love you guys, by the way.
Yeah.
Bonds wanted to love you guys.
Yeah.
You know, and as far as the fans, he still probably does love you guys. But ownership, the organization themselves, he has a few choice words for them.
Yeah. And by the way, the whole well, he went out to San Francisco and he did well, he wanted to hit the most home runs in the Giants stadium. The hell with legacy is something that you guys hold on to. He just wanted to embarrass Pittsburgh and show them what they left. I'm telling you, I'm going to a bigger ballpark, might need a bigger bat. Fine, I'll find muscle. That's just how he thinks. So anyway, back to football. Cleveland, you're embarrassing, right? You've completely embarrassed yourself. Now you're not even putting the best product on the field in the Battle of Ohio. Like, have some pride. This is Cincinnati versus Cleveland. You're not even going to put the best player out on the field. Give me Cincinnati. It's a no sweat bet. You don't even have to watch it. Don't take the 9.5, but I mean, this could get ugly quick.
Yeah, I agree. I like Cincinnati here. Bengals have no shot. Browns have no shot with Winston not in there. I can't believe they're even pulling this. I know it's hard. It would be hard to judge, but I really wish there was a way to penalize teams that do this. I really do.
Yeah, because we don't know what we have. Come on, man. Stop that.
You know what you have. We know why you're doing it. You're doing it so you lose another game, so you get a better draft pick. We're not dumb. They do it in the NBA. I just wish there was a way for us to penalize a team for doing that.
By the way, just a quick update. David Njoku's ankle isn't feeling quite right today, so for your fantasy owners, he won't be playing either.
Okay, well there you go.
I wonder if
so
his
you
ankle
guys might want to jump on. You guys might want to jump on that 10 before it goes up anymore.
Yeah, I wonder if no. Oh, I'm sorry. David Njoku is active. He'll probably be active for the first 4 plays.
Yeah. All right, we both like Cincinnati here.
Can't take it.
No, like I said, don't think too hard on this. Next, we got LA Rams at New York Jets. Rams are favored by 3. They're given 3 points. Over under is 47. Money line negative 162. Jets are at plus 136. Jack, who do you like here? Because listen, after last week, I said before I'm not touching another Jets game. I bet against the Jets last week, got screwed again. I am done with that. So you tell everybody what you think of this game because I am not touching it. And don't try to convince me.
I won't do that. Not at all. Okay, so here, I guess this is how I feel, right? So this game, the line should be a little bit higher. Right? The Rams should be around 5.5. That's what I think. I think the Rams should probably be around 5.5 favorites, but they're not. I don't think I really don't believe that the ayahuasca man is just going to I think that he's played poor at times. I think that the team has looked lost at times, but I don't think he's just going to lay down. That's the one thing I don't think about Aaron Rodgers. I just don't think he lays down That's part of my thing. He's going to battle. Like, man, ayahuasca is no party. And yet he walked into that cave and took it.
Mhm.
Right? He took it and he dealt with it and he dealt with himself. The Rams seem like the easiest bet in the world here. So I'll take the Jets.
Mhm.
Give me the points. I think the Rams escape New York and they kick a field goal to win by 1. But give me the Jets getting 3. This is fishy business.
Okay. Did you hear about the latest report that came out of the Jets this week? The article by I believe it was 3 people that wrote it: Adam Silver, Diana Rosazini, and somebody else.
What'd they say?
What's that?
What'd they say?
About how everybody in the Jets organization answers to a 17-year-old. And the only reason why they didn't make a trade for Jerry Jeudy was because the owner's son, Brick, told him, "No, Dad, I don't think you should trade him. He's mid in Madden." Mid in Madden, and that's why you don't trade for Jerry Jeudy.
Yeah.
You know, we all thought it was a big joke. The GM was he was joking when he left, but when he left, he goes, "I answered to a 17-year-old."
Yeah, not a great move, right?
No, not at all.
Not a great move. You know, I still like him a little. I don't love him.
Mhm.
I don't love him, but I do believe I look, it's not about what happens in the organization. Like, we talk about from top to bottom and this player and that player, and we need to be professional here. It's week 16.
Mhm.
Week 16 has nothing to do with what the owners brought in, what they're taking out, nothing. It's going to be Aaron Rodgers, it's going to be Devontae Adams, and that's it. That's what we're looking at here. That's how it's going to roll. End of day, end of story. And I just like the ego, man. Like these cats know each other. We're different teams, yes, but Stafford and Rodgers know each other. And the one knock on Matthew Stafford or Matt Stafford is that he wasn't very good at getting by Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay.
Mhm.
Sometimes when you see that guy staring across from you, you just reminisce. Some guys you just can't get past. I shouldn't even say it, but stay away from this game for you, first of all.
Oh, I am. I definitely am. I personally, if I had to take anything, I would be on the Jets, uh, just for the fact that Aaron Rodgers pretty much has owned Stafford throughout his career. And I agree with you that I don't think that Aaron Rodgers is just going to lay down. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm in.
Okay.
Yeah, man. You don't think he's gonna lay down, right?
Yeah, I don't think he will either.
Then I would take the Jets.
You know, if I had to go any way, I would take the Jets. But again, I am not. Let me repeat that. I am not. Okay, next. All right. Next, we got the New York Giants at the Atlanta Falcons. Oh, we are getting technical difficulties again here.
I know I'm playing with it, but that's all right. Let's just continue with what we got. What do we have? Falcons, you said? Giants,
Yeah,
Falcons?
we got the New York Giants at the Atlanta Falcons.
All right. Is that better for you?
A little bit. A
No?
lot better than what it was.
Give me the Falcons here.
Mhm.
Because look at I have real great information here for you on this game. I think the Falcons are going to win. I think the Giants are going to be competitive. And this is why. There's the whole draft argument that I've been making for the Raiders and the Giants. Remember that argument that I've been making?
Yeah.
Okay. Former Miami booster, Nevin Shapiro. Never heard of him. But he has guaranteed that Cam Ward and Miami offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson are headed to the Giants. One as coach, one as player. And it has nothing really to do with the Giants. It has to deal with the fact that even if the Giants have the number 1 pick, they know that Shedeur Sanders will not go there. Will not go there. He'll go back to college. He doesn't. It's a done deal. It's a written story. Dion wants his son to be no part of a franchise that is hilarious. So the Giants have to look for someone else, and they're going to try and pair Cam Ward with the guy we know. That's their only option. That's their only option. I think the Falcons win today. 9 points with a quarterback that hasn't started an NFL game is a lot of points, baby. A lot of points.
Yeah, I like the Atlanta a lot here.
9?
I like Penix coming in. I really do. I think he's going to set it on fire, and I don't like the Giants at all. I mean, 9 points is a lot. This is a game that I would definitely be teasing.
I don't want to touch this game. I can't. In good nature, I can't because I haven't seen Michael Penix. I haven't seen him. Have you guys seen him? Like,
and that's why I like the Falcons is because the Giants haven't seen him either.
so what? You're taking the Falcons on the money line?
No, I am taking the Falcons. I'm teasing this down.
Oh, you're teasing it.
Yes. You know what? We both really like the Bengals. 10 is a lot of points, but we both like 10. So I'm just going to tease that with the Bengals. I'm going to tease this down to 3.5 and tease the Bengals down to 4, and I'm just going to sit back and collect my money.
Okay, I like that. So all right, so we're going to tease Cincinnati, and we're going to tease the Falcons 3.5. You said?
Yes.
Okay, I like that move. That's a good move. I don't know. I'm not playing this game.
That's
put
how
up.
I feel about the Jets game, is I'm not playing.
Yeah, I'm probably not playing the Jets game either. But I do like to play around with the idea that I might play it. I don't know. The ayahuasca man has me.
All right, next we got the Arizona Cardinals against the Carolina Panthers. Cardinals are negative 5.5. Giving 5.5 over under 47. Cardinals are at negative 245. Panthers are at plus 200. Jack, give us your take on this. I'm going to try to mess with my sound a little bit.
I love this is a game you gotta have, right? This is a game to me that I mean I don't know how could you ever bet the Panthers ever again. I mean, they don't look great. They kind of look dead in the water. I know that, if I'm comparing East Coast and West Coast, right? The Miami Dolphins look like the Arizona Cardinals. They look sure of themselves, then they look unsure of themselves, then they look sure of themselves again, right? They're the guy that, he's kind of cool, right? He's not the coolest guy in the group, but he's kind of cool. But, the Carolina Panthers are not cool at all. Right? They're not. The Carolina Panthers haven't been cool since Cam Newton. That's just a fact. Once Cam left that building, they haven't been cool. They were cool for a second with Baker Mayfield, and then they found a way to screw that up. Arizona, by the way, this line has moved for all you guys paying attention to these lines, right? Greg just said it's 5.5. It was 4.5. So the line has spiked a full point on game day, which means the line is moving for the Cardinals. Look, Kyler Murray's the greatest talent in this game. And maybe the second greatest talent in this game is Marvin Harrison Jr., who hasn't really gotten going yet in this league. I know you guys draft him in the first round of fantasy. Crickets to you guys. He's not a professional yet. He'll get better. He'll improve. But Kyler Murray is much better than Bryce Young. It's just true. Okay, at this juncture, at this fork in the road, it's Arizona over Carolina. And it's a game. Don't bet the points. I think you're getting a little bit of value here. And Carolina just lost their draft pick last week too, by the way, Jonathan Brooks. He's out, same knee, same problems. Probably not the greatest draft pick. I understand Dave Canales took a shot, but that shot has not panned out. So I love, and I'm sure Greg can corroborate this, we both love Arizona. I don't know if it's a no sweat bet, but Arizona feels like you can pair them with anybody today, and they're right in the playoff hunt. Like Arizona, if the Jets find a way to beat the Rams, we'll just have a hypothetical. Jets find a way to beat the Rams. 49ers find a way to beat the Dolphins. Arizona finds a way to beat Carolina, which shouldn't be too difficult. That division is tight. I mean, it is. Those are skinny jeans on a guy that squats way too much, right? Those are skinny jeans on Saquon Barkley. That division is tight. Am I right, Greg? All right. Arizona, we love. Take the Arizona Cardinals.
How are we looking now? Sound better?
We're all right. What do we got next on our docket?
Okay. Real quick, I do agree with you. The Cardinals, I do think the Cardinals would have picked third.
We're crackling a little bit still here.
Yeah. All right.
That's all right. Which one
Next,
I want?
we got the Tennessee Titans at the Indianapolis Colts. Colts are giving 4. Over under is 42.5. Titans are at plus 170 money line. Colts are at negative 205 money line. Go ahead, take it away.
All right. So every single week for the past 6 weeks, I have given you a Will Levis over under quarterback passing yards. And I have been 6 for 6. Greg can corroborate this as well. 6 for 6 with Will Levis, whether he's going over passing yards, under passing yards. We have hit every single one of them. Unfortunately, this week we are not going to hit a Will Levis over or under passing yards because in just a few days, Santa arrives. And as it always seems to happen around this time of year, the deer or reindeer that leads his sleigh and the red nose that lights up, his name, kids, is Rudolph. We all know this. Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer. And we have Rudolph season alive in Tennessee as well because we have Mason Rudolph leading the Tennessee Titans into Indianapolis to take on the Colts, who are 3.5-point favorites. 4-point favorites now. Greg said the line has moved. Look at Mason Rudolph is a nice game manager, but I know that there are people out there that really like the Titans. I think it's a miss. I think that this Titans defense is fine. I don't think you can trust Anthony Richardson to win you games, but I do think that the coaching staff will do well enough for the Colts to be able to push around the Titans. And by the way, the Titans play well when they know that they got a shot in the game, right? Everybody plays. This is the reason why coaches sometimes punt at the end of the game when they're only down by 3 because they believe in their defense with 3 minutes to go and you're screaming at the TV. Coaches believe in their defense. If I go for it on 4th and 3 instead of punting on my own 45 and we don't get it, then it screws my defense and we've got no chance, right? And then the defense hems and haws, hangs their heads and goes, why'd that guy make that? So doesn't he believe in it? You gotta believe in your guy. You have to. And there's no way look at I don't think the Colts love Anthony Richardson like they once loved him. That's true. But the Titans can't believe in Rudolph as much as Santa does. They can. Rudolph was built and meant to lead sleighs around the globe to help deliver presents. He was not built to lead NFL failing franchises like the Tennessee Titans. It's just a fact. I know what Rudolphs are good for, and they are not good throwers of the football. They are pullers of presents. Give me the Colts.
Yeah, I like the Colts here too. I think the Colts have more to play for. I think Tennessee is. I know they're not playing Rudolph because they want to see what they have with him. We all know that. So,
Well,
with
aren't they like
with
Dorian Thomas and Robinson? I don't even know who that guy's name is. He's like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
well, last year they were talking about a lot about ROC. They were calling them. Yeah. Do I still sound bad, or is it me?
Yeah, like helium and cracking.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I changed out my mixer and everything.
That's okay.
Yeah, I changed everything out. I don't understand. Let's try that. Oh God, I can't even hear myself. I can't talk. Let me see here. Yeah, I don't. Let's just hurry through this because I don't know how it sounds to our audience. I know it sounds pretty bad to us. So we both like the Colts here.
Yeah, give us the Colts, baby.
Mm-hmm. Next, we got the Minnesota Vikings at the Seattle Seahawks. Vikings are 2.5 point favorite. They're giving 2.5. Over under is 42.5. The money line at negative 142 for Minnesota, plus 120 for Seattle. Who do you like here, Jack? I know who I like.
Seattle feels done, right? I mean, they just, after last week's game against, I mean, maybe they don't. That whole division, San Francisco's done. Wrong. Arizona, they're the leading of the division. Wrong. I mean, somebody's got to win that division. Every week, it's a new, you're dead, and then you're alive, and then, oh, look at, they were really a chance. I don't know what's going to happen here. Minnesota feels like the adult in the room, but, Atlanta did once upon a time, too, and then Seattle swatted them. Is it in Minnesota or in Seattle? It's in Seattle?
Yeah.
Give me Seattle, then. I know it shouldn't be. I know what things are. I know what Minnesota is. I know. But give me Seattle. Because every time they feel over, they're you know what they are? Every time they feel over, they're over the top. Right? Remember that movie? Sylvester, they're right here. There was Sylvester Stallone, right? Where he was a truck driver and he used to curl his fingers, right, up and over that guy's, and he'd find power when he was on his last leg, arm wrestling against another guy, right? That's what would happen, right? Every time he was over, he'd curl those hands up like the Seahawks will today and go over the top. I know that the Vikings should win every game until they have to play a real opponent, but Seattle's just one of those teams where they sneak up on you and you're like, oh, this team is really good. And then 2 weeks from now, you're like, they're in a dogfight with the Jets. I thought they were really good, but I don't know what to say. And that's how you're going to feel today.
Okay, I like the Vikings on this. I don't think it's a question. Yeah, 2.5 under a field goal.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I like Vikings. You like it? Good.
I can't really hear you very well.
All right.
Can you hear you well?
No, I keep hearing crackling in my headphones.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can't. You can hear me well, right? Oh wait, it's all right. What's the next game on our docket? Can we get a game on our docket or no? You there? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Man, I can't even hear you.
Hello.
Oh, that's better.
You can hear me now?
That's a little bit better. It's still wonky
Okay.
a little bit, but that's better.
All right, let's just try to get this. I even hooked up a new mixer. So I don't know what's going on here.
Okay.
Next, we got the so I like Minnesota with the giving 2.5 points. You like the Seattle or
Yeah, I like Seattle. Yeah, let's take
Okay.
Seattle.
all right? I like the Patriots and at the Bills. Patriots are plus 14. Over under is 46.5. Money line plus 650 for Patriots. Negative 1,000 for Buffalo.
I mean, don't touch the line. There's no reason to get silly and go, well, we're gonna take if you need to take a game to pair with one of the other games you kind of like, take the Bills. I gotta believe. I think this is the thing I believe the most in. Whatever, and while Greg's trying to check some stuff out, I'm gonna find out what the information is for you guys, and we're gonna see what the live stuff here says. But I believe in this bet, and because I don't believe that Buffalo's defense is just this absolutely world beater. Okay, here it is. Here's a great bet for you guys. We did not participate in the Will Levis over under passing yards, but I know Greg's gonna love this one. How about Drake May over 203.5 passing yards, minus 115? How does that feel? Look, they got to put up points. The over-under is 46.5. The over-under here is 46.5. Drake May is going to have to throw the ball because you know the Bills are going to score points. 203.5, that sounds easy. Even if the kid throws 4 interceptions, who cares? I'm not betting on interceptions. I'm betting on passing yards, baby. Give me the Bills to win. That's the easy stuff. But I'll take Drake May over 203.5 passing yards. How's that feel, Greg? Good? You like that one? Yeah, you like that one, huh? All right, baby. I like that one because there's not much more to talk about here, right? Boy, I love losing Super Bowls are going to win this game and maybe the Super Bowl this year. The Bills are a really good team. I joke because that's what their moniker used to be. I think it's one of the best teams of all time. Whatever. Give me the Bills over the Patriots. The other game that I think is interesting that I want to talk about, I'm gonna put one up on the docket. How's that sound, Greg? Back thumbs up. All right, let me put one on the docket. I want to put the Jaguars and the Raiders up on the docket because this one's interesting. It's real interesting, right? Because that information for which I gave you guys earlier about Shedeur Sanders not going to the Giants, he's not going. Absolutely 110% not going to be a Giant. Will be blocked. He's going to the Raiders. That's booked for April. Just in case you guys are wondering if the combine's going to matter, it will not. And the Raiders haven't been favored in, I don't know, ever. Because there was this argument back and forth for weeks whether the Giants would get the first pick or the Raiders would get the first pick. And since we know it doesn't matter anymore, the Raiders are all of a sudden favored to beat the Jaguars. That's very interesting. I actually don't think that the Raiders should be favored in any games this year. But with this new information that comes to light, I have to take it as the presentation is given to me. I love the Raiders today. I think for whatever reason, they're in Las Vegas. That's just correct. I think that they find a way to get after Mac Jones, make his life uncomfortable, and they end probably the coaching career of Doug Peterson. That's probably where I think things are going here. I think the Raiders find a way to win in Las Vegas. It's one of the most boring, sleepy games of the day. And maybe they win 13-9 somehow. Maybe they win 12-6. I don't know. It's gonna be boring. You're gonna be sleeping. But I do like the Raiders here. I think the Raiders, they shouldn't be favored. Not at all. When you look at all the tea leaves, there's no way they should be rated. But understand where the lines come out of. The lines come out of Las Vegas. They think a lot of people are going to be on the Jaguars. No one knows that this situation is resolved in this NFL draft yet, but me and Greg were the only ones that know, besides Nevin Shapiro out of South Florida. So we'll take the smart money and we'll take the Raiders on the money line, won't we, Greg? Absolutely. Taking the Raiders, baby. We ain't messing around. Right? Al Davis said, just win, baby. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to just win and take the Raiders. What is our next game? Greg, you got the next game on the docket? You back with us yet? Not quite yet. All right. Let's see. I'll save that one for him. Let's take our other 14-point favorite today. There's two. That's how non-competitive the NFL has become late in seasons. I'm very sorry to make the announcement to you guys, but they're starting to slide, and we need greater talent, or we need greater care or greater coaching. We just need improvements. That's a fact. Okay. Facts are facts. They're very important in life. We've got the New Orleans Saints taking on the Green Bay Packers. Now, we remember that Packers team from last week, right? They absolutely took apart the Seattle Seahawks, and now they're at home this week. They're 14-point favorites against the New Orleans Saints. Look, the New Orleans Saints have been a mess. In fact, I watched this argument today, just the other day, I'm sorry, about how Derek Carr should really not be a starting quarterback. And the reason why he shouldn't be a starting quarterback is because Derek gets flustered when people get around him in the pocket. He doesn't like getting hit. Nobody likes getting hit, but he starts to get a little nervous. Feet start to get a little out of sorts, and then he makes mistakes. If defensive linemen know that, there's a real problem, right? If defensive linemen know that the bicycle is not even a bicycle, it's a unicycle, you got bigger problems, right? Derek Carr is not a good quarterback, and that's why he's not even quarterbacking today. New Orleans Saints have gone with a roulette wheel of quarterbacks here late in the season. You got to be careful with these games, because if the Packers are up by a ton, and they should be, they should not play their starters the whole time. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense to play guys and then they get banged up. So you got to be careful with these double-digit favorites, right? You got to be careful with 14 points. That's 2 touchdowns or however you. But guys get lucky. Maybe you find a broken coverage, sling it downfield as far as you can throw it as the backup quarterback, and you find 50 yards. If the Saints start, and I don't know if they will, but if the Saints start Spencer Rattler, stay away. Because this guy is pretty good. He's not great. And Spencer Rattler can get on top of you quickly. And he's just one of those guys you could turn on the TV and you're like, 10-0? How are the Packers losing 10-0? They just beat Seattle. They looked this way against Detroit. My God, 10-0. That gives them 24 points if you took the spread. And now you got a real problem, right? Because, the pizza's in the oven, the beverages are flowing, and you can't believe how Spencer Rattler has dismantled a defense that's pretty good. Not great, but pretty good. He will make mistakes, but he's very James Winston-like. I think Greg would agree. Greg's listening right now, trying to get that audio straightened out, but Greg would agree. he just Rattler's a little, you know, he's a Gamecock, right? South Carolina, and he's a very capable guy, even though he can't read everything. He doesn't read everything perfectly, but he does. I'm staying away from this game for the same reason that I don't. I believe in what New Orleans can accomplish, but will they accomplish it? The Packers will probably take guys off the field early. I feel like this game plays within 10. I don't know why, but I think plus 14, take the Saints, and we'll see what happens. I'm not touching that game though. We'll move on to Monday nights before we shift back and get Greg back in here for his game. Huh?
Can you hear me?
A little bit crackling still.
Still? Yeah, I don't know. I have no idea. I changed out everything that I could change out, including a mixer. So,
all right, whatever. All right, so let's talk about the 49ers and Finns. Who cares?
All right.
Right? Say whatever you want to say. I don't really care. Try to get it through, right?
Yeah. We all know I'm a Niners fan. Oh, God, this sounds horrible. Oh. I'm gonna make this short and sweet. I'm gonna take Miami with the points. I'm picking against my Niners. I think they have too much speed to go against my Niners. We have issues that we need to figure out, and I'll leave it at that because because it's in Miami. Yeah,
I'm checking my temperature.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. I thought you'd take the 49ers on an upset.
No. I'm not taking the Niners for the simple fact that I don't think we could deal with their speed.
Oh, man. The bomb has dropped. Man, it feels like Nagasaki out here, right? Jeez, you're looking around. The plants are dying, right? The fish are coming out of the water.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, wow. We have no shot at the playoffs. I think we're going to come out a little flat. And like I said, I just don't think we match up well with a team like that.
I mean, it's your team against Bubble Screenville.
I get it.
Actually, Tua should star in the new the old Seinfeld episode, The Bubble Boy. Because when you don't want to wrap him in a bubble because he's getting concussions, you just want to, throw bubble screen so he doesn't get hit and have to make real decisions. He's the Bubble Boy.
I seen that you took care of Monday night. Did you do Sunday night?
I didn't take care of any of those ones. Sunday night was what? Packers. Who's our Sunday night game?
Go ahead. Sunday night's Tampa at Dallas.
There's not a lot to say here, right? I understand what everybody's thinking, right? The Cowboys are playing more inspired football, but they're not, right? Their greatest player on the field, last time I saw him, hung his head and walked off. That's Micah Parsons, right? And I know what the offense is trying to accomplish here with Dallas, but Parsons is playing for a contract. In week 16, he's not laying himself out there. He won't. It's not going to happen. I'm sure he enjoyed that Penn State victory yesterday. But he's not going to work really hard here. And that Bucks line is really good. Say what you want. I understand they're going to here's the other thing. This dude can find whatever he wants whenever he wants. Right? I was a free agent a couple of years ago, and I'm from Texas. Boy, Jerry Jones could have called me. We could have set up a contract, but I'm better than Dak Prescott. I'm better than Cooper Rush. That's how Baker Mayfield thinks. And you got Mike Evans coming in. That secondary is not going to be able to guard him whatsoever. He needs 200 and blah yards, 239 yards to get to 1,000 yards while he missed 5 weeks again. That's how good Mike Evans is, by the way. He'll get 170 or something. Baker will throw 2 more touchdowns. How's Dallas going to keep up here? How How is Dallas going to keep it? I know 3.5 and 4 points, but Dallas doesn't do anything good. I mean, Cincinnati got like I look at this kind of like the Cincinnati game, right? Cincinnati was like, oh, Dallas, you want to play a little bit? All right, we'll play. I don't think Dallas is good enough for anybody. This could be 35-17. Do you like that?
I don't, because Dallas has been playing the last 4 weeks a lot better football than what they have in the past, earlier in the season. That running back Rico that we have, he's been a godsend to them. You pair that with the play action that they've been doing. I mean, they're a lot better team. I don't like that spread as much as I would have earlier in the season. But I know I'm not betting against Baker.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's not a ton of value. The value is out on the Bucs, but
yeah,
I mean, Dallas doesn't have home field.
No, but I don't think this is as cut and dry as you say it is. Dallas, like I said, Dallas has been playing a lot better football, but me personally, I can't bet against Baker. I think Baker can pull this out, but it wouldn't shock me to see Dallas pull this out. It really wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, it's whichever way you want to. Here's, I guess, the way you could put it this year, right? Because I think we could wrap it up at this spot, right? Here's your top quarterbacks this year, ladies and gentlemen. It's very simple. Greg will agree, and if he doesn't, we'll know, right? Number 1 quarterback is Josh Allen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the number 2 quarterback is Lamar Jackson. That's this year. That's just how it is. The number 3 quarterback is Joe Burrow.
I was just going to say, if it's not Burrow, you're wrong.
Okay. The number 4 quarterback is Baker Mayfield. Whatever you want to say is what you want to say over here. Those are the numbers. Those are the figures. Those are the records. It's just the way it is. I don't make the rules. I just report what I'm seeing, right? Those are your guys this year. Right, Greg?
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I made a case about 4 weeks ago about Baker being the MVP.
He, you know what? He very well could be. He's not going to get it because Josh Allen has gone on a tear.
And Lamar's playing lights out too.
Right. And athletically, it's 1 and 1A. Those two guys. But when you go to then when you go to quarterbacks that have to play traditionally, it's Burrow Mayfield. And it's not particularly close. And like you said, Baker made quite a statement walking into LA last week against the number 1 ranked defense. I don't think they are, but I know what statistics say. And ripping 40.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and the thing that I said before the game, before I bet or didn't bet it, which I did not bet it either way, I said, how am I going to bet against the guy who rips smelling salts and watch Mike Tyson videos before a game? I know, but I'm being for real. Like, everybody's like, well, Justin Herbert this, Justin Herbert that. If they're both in an alleyway, who's coming out alive? It ain't Justin Herbert. It's not. It's Mayfield. And no one's surprised. No one, everybody's like, well, he's the bigger guy and he's the bigger guy. I'm telling you, all the money will be laid. All the public money would be laid on Herbert. All the smart money would be laid on Mayfield. And when he walks out of the alleyway with a little blood on his lip, you're like, oh my God, I fucking knew it. I know it. Why'd I do this? And I watched that game and I watched it turn on a play. He ran to his left, ripped it to Evans. Evans had a touchdown. And I went, all right, Justin, you wanted the track meet. Let's see what you have, because that's what he turned it into. He turned it into a slugfest, right? Or it started off as this: I'm going to run it, you're going to run it. I'm going to run it, you're going to run it. And then Baker went, nope, gas pedal time. And I don't think he's going to have to do that against Dallas. And this game's going to be a little boring, and this game's going to be a little vanilla, because they're not going to show teams a lot because they don't have to. By the way, they don't have to work hard because Atlanta, has thrown in the towels, ladies and gentlemen. You could say Penix will look better, but he's not a playoff quarterback. He's not going to be able to lead Atlanta to enough victories to where it's going to matter against Tampa. That's not happening. It's not.
No, but he's also, I mean, even if he throws a little bit better percentage than 2 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, like Cousins has done the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
They'll still be a better team in that fashion. Guys, I'm sorry about this sound stuff. We're gonna get this straightened out. Jack, you sign off. Everybody have a Merry Christmas, guys. And I do apologize about the sound. We will get this fixed.
Guys, have the greatest Christmas ever. And I cannot believe that the FCC has tried to silence Greg while he has given you all these great picks so that you can take all of your money and run over to another department store and buy gold and diamonds for your lady. It's really, we're going to have to contact them because
it's conspiracy. It really is.
It's becoming egregious, right? It's becoming obscene, right? All we do is make you guys money, and then they try to silence one of our guys here. I won't stand for it. But we'll have to sit for it for now. Guys, have the greatest Christmas from both of us at Every Point Sports Podcast. We love you all. Enjoy your Sunday.